This could be the last DLC for Farming Simulator 22, the Farm Productions pack. Guys, this pack focuses completely on supply, demand, and of course your productions, and a couple of other odds and ends. This pack is going for $7.99 US. Releases on April 30th. First off, thank you, Giants, for sending over a preview copy of this DLC before release. Even though you know I'm not the biggest fan of the production side of Farm Sim, I appreciate when you guys do that. Also, if you're watching this video, if you haven't heard me say that before, know that I'm going into this with a bit of a bias against the production side of things. It's never been my thing. But yeah, that is one thing just to make note of. I've never been a huge fan of the production side in Farm Sim, so there is definitely a bias there. However, with that being said, this is just not the DLC for me, and I don't think it's for you either, to be honest with you. I'm going to show you everything that's in this pack, and for the most part, what it does or if it works. In fact, there's a few things that are kind of broken and a couple things that are game-breaking in this DLC pack that I don't understand why they're in there. I'm not sure what happened with this DLC pack, as it feels like a mixed mash of all sorts of different things just kind of thrown in together. I know it wasn't done by Giants. This is a third-party DLC of sorts. It is what it is on that. So let me show you everything that goes into this pack. We'll talk quickly about each of the different items, and then at the end, I'll kind of give you my ending thoughts. Could get a little bit spicy, we'll see. But you want to know what's not spicy? The sponsor of today's video, G-Portal Game Servers. You know, G-Portal Game Servers allows you to play with all your friends, regardless if you're on Xbox, PlayStation, PC, it doesn't matter. Everybody can play together. Console players, PC players, you guys can play together, and it's fantastic that we can do that now with Farming Simulator, and G-Portal Game Servers is there to set you guys up. G-Portal Game Servers are super easy to set up, they are super reliable, and you know what, with the link down in the description, guys, you get 10% off, so you can get it set up for when you're ready to set up with the Farm Productions pack that we're going to talk about in this video. So go check it out, link in the description, get the 10% off your G-Portal Game Server right now. Before we dive into this preview, just a quick disclaimer, this is still pre-release, so things could potentially change before release date, and some of the issues I'm having right now, they could be fixed by the time this is released. Time will tell. This is what I'm experiencing right this very moment. So let's dive into this. Let's start by talking about the 5 storage sheds that you get with this DLC pack. They are all fairly high quality as far as appearance goes. They have opening doors on a lot of them. You have some lighting inside that you can be turned on and off. They are all fine. There is even a little bit of decorations put into each one of them, but the big thing, guys, 3 of them, the 3 larger ones, they snap to 90 degrees, so you can't always place them in the exact angle you want. 2 of them are fine, the 2 small ones, but 3 of them, you're stuck with only snapping to 90 degrees, which makes 0 sense to me. And over in the silo section of your build menu, you also have 2 other sheds that have auto load features for pallets, so you can hold 250 pallets inside these 2 sheds. One of them is actually a little bit larger and has storage area for vehicles as well, so you can use that as a garage plus a storage area. These do have 360-degree rotation, no snapping like I was talking about before. Under generators, we get a small wind turbine that costs $75,000, and it's going to generate, yeah, $6,840 a month. Also under generators, we have a brand new solar panel pack. It allows you to place solar panels similar to how you place fences. You can just drag, and then the entire length that you would like to put them, they will be dropped down. They start at $1,450 for a single panel. However, you're forced to put 3 down minimum. Just be aware of that. So yeah, it's just a drag and drop panel. There's more to these. These can actually get dirty over time, but it's not quite that simple. We're going to talk more about that in a bit. Let me get through the rest. And then under our productions tab, we have the wash drum, which is $85,000. You're supposed to be able to put in water and then either beets or potatoes, and then it outputs, well, washed beets or washed potatoes. Unfortunately, guys, this thing is broken. It doesn't work from what I've been able to tell. It locks up as soon as you put any kind of a product inside of it. That's all you can do. It does not allow you to put out anything on the output side of it. Not sure what's going on with this. Yeah, it looks kind of interesting. It looks nice. It's an interesting small way of making more profit potentially, but well, right now it's broken and it doesn't work. Next under productions, we have the Cleaner Tiger, which is $85,000, and this is a sugar beet cutter. So you're gonna put your sugar beets in, and on your output side, you're getting cut sugar beets along with stones right at the bottom, which can be a little bit tricky to gather afterwards, but they're there. The other problem with this one, guys, it just throws them on the ground, the sugar beets. Your cut sugar beets just get tossed on the ground. You cannot put them in a trailer. Even though it has a belt, it doesn't work. It just throws them on the ground. Yeah, go figure. Last of all, in our factories, we have the Leli Sphere, which is a fertilizer generator, which is kind of cool. You got to put this close to a cow shed, and what it does is it consumes the air in the cow shed, and it mixes with the other new mod that we got, which is a pallet of sulfuric acid, and it goes and combines the two to create fertilizer, liquid fertilizer. Now, kind of a cool mod. It actually has a little animation fan on part of it. The pallets have to go inside a little cage, and the gauge on the main tank actually works. You can see exactly how much fertilizer you have in that by the gauge that is alongside of it. So it does look cool. It is functional. Technically will save you some money because the sulfuric acid is half the price of what fertilizer is, so you're probably saving 50% if you utilize this. So it does work. It is probably the best factory in this DLC pack. Moving down into our tools section of our menu, we've got the big vehicle workshop, which is 3 bays. Also has like a little waiting room area. It's almost like a dealership of sorts, a repair dealership inside it. Does have a repair point inside that you can find. It is $274,500, however, pretty pricey. Next up under our tools, we have the solar panel washing robot, which works in conjunction with the new solar panels I spoke about earlier. Now, these solar panels, guys, they are interesting because they get dirty, and the solar panel washing robot is used to clean them off, basically. Now, the interesting thing about the solar panels, they don't get dirty in-game time. They get dirty with real-life time, which is a very weird option if you ask me. So I'm not exactly sure how long it takes. It seems like it's about an hour, maybe even more, before you'll start getting some visible dirt on these solar panels, and they'll start producing less electricity for you. From what I've seen, the first stage, I don't know if there's more stages, but it was a decrease of about 10 to 15%, somewhere in that range, of the actual intake from what we were making beforehand. So this solar panel washing robot, once you place it close to the panels, you just have to simply go up to it, activate it, and it will automatically go and clean off the solar panels for you, which is kind of cool. However, it does also cost you money to use it, so it's roughly $1 every 2 seconds or so, I was noticing, for the solar panel washing robot to run. But you just have to activate it. It'll automatically do all the solar panels that I believe are in its kind of radius, and it'll just automatically go back to its base, and you're done with it. So it does work. It's just the timing of washing your solar panels makes zero sense to me. Why would you do it in real life time and not in game time? I'm a little lost on that. So anyways, if you're having problems with it, that's what it is. So now let's move down into our selling points. And once again, there's some confusion on this for me at least, and I don't understand what the thought process was on this. Let's start off down a little bit further and go to the farmer's market, which you would think the farmer's market would be a buy point or a sell point for all your products. No, it's not that at all. It is a place where you can buy seed, fertilizer, lime, that kind of equipment stuff in bulk into a trailer. So if you're looking to buy any of those products into a trailer in bulk, not buying by pallet, you just go up behind the building and yeah, you can buy all that stuff. Kind of not what I was expecting when you place that down. Also in the selling point area, we have the distribution center. Now, this is what I was kind of excited about most about this whole DLC, and it is not at all what I was hoping for, to be perfectly honest, guys. I am completely confused on this one. It is, yes, it's a massive building for $80,000, but it will take almost all your palatable products for the most part and sell them off. It's not a place where you will actually go and store your products for a better time to sell or anything like that. It is essentially just a sell point. Now, it is fully enterable. It has openable doors from all the different bays that go around it. There is one really interesting thing about this. If you use the one-sided, I guess it'd be the left-sided entry doors, there is an area where you can drop pallets off, and they will sell immediately right from that area. So you can sell your products, no problem, right there. However, if you go over to the main bay doors and put your products in that area, there is also a little forklift light that you can light up. And all the items that are in that area will now become a mini game. So all the pallets you've placed down, the warehouse will look at it and say, okay, you want to play a mini game with those pallets and try and place them on all the different shelves that are inside the warehouse. So depending on how many pallets you have in place there, the time will change. It might give you 5 minutes for like 3. It'll give you 20 for 5 or 6, whatever it might be. And as soon as you hit the button, a forklift will spawn inside the building, and then the race is on. You need to try to put all the pallets in their proper places inside the warehouse. And when you do, once the time is up, you will get an extra bit of money for doing so, and you'll sell your products. But that's all it does. It's a sell point with an extra added mini game. if that makes any sense. And now lastly, let's talk about the actual sell points. We have the bakery market stall, we have the vegetable market stall, the dairy market stall, we have the fresh farmer's supermarket, the small vending machine, the big vending machine, and the multi vending machine. Guys, all of these are for the most part the same kind of. One of them is enterable with a light inside. Interestingly enough, each one of these guys takes, well, they're asking for certain products to be put inside of them. Now, they have a certain requirement or a certain allotment per day that each of them will take. And from what I've seen, it seems to change. So some days you might find that this one will take bread, the next time it'll only take eggs, sometimes it'll take a whole bunch of different things. And there's only a certain percentage that you can be putting into each one per day. Kind of another interesting way of doing it. It's supposed to change with market demands, essentially, is what it's trying to simulate. And yeah, it kind of makes a little bit of sense there. So yeah, for the most part, it will kind of change between a bunch of different products. And the bigger the stall is, typically the more you can sell of that product per day. If it's a smaller one, usually it's a little bit less. Now, only problem is some of the prices are completely out of whack. In fact, I've seen some where a pallet of eggs went for $1 billion. So it is pretty much game breaking if you want to use these. Sometimes it is fine. Some products are completely, well, you can see the prices. I don't know what else to say. I don't understand what the reason would be. So anyways, use these at your discretion, I guess, if you want to find a way to make easy money. There you go. So there you guys have it. And even ignoring some of the stuff that's kind of broken for me, at least in this Farm Productions pack, if we were to take that for what it was and say it wasn't broken, I guess, there's nothing in here that screams must have for me. I should also mention one other thing. The warehouse, the large warehouse, it also has the same snapping issue where it only locks in at 90 degrees. I'm not quite sure why they do that, but so it is kind of broken in a sense as well. That is the only actual thing in this pack that I thought was kind of interesting. Having that little forklift mini game is something different. I mean, I'll give them credit for that. Even though it doesn't really make sense to have, it's something different. So there is that, and some people may enjoy that, and that's fine. So I'm okay with it being in there. I just wish that warehouse was actually a warehouse to store your stuff and then sell them at a later date instead of what it is. Now, everything else that's in this pack, from the sheds, of course, the beet and potato washer to the sugar beet cutter, even the different sell points, there's some interesting ideas put into all of this. It's just, there's nothing in there that screams to me that I need to have it. The one thing that was kind of nice actually was the fertilizer generator. There are other options, of course, for that as well. But the way that one does work, yeah, it's kind of interesting. And we'll give you some other options. This is a very weak DLC in my personal opinion. I know some people may be excited for it and may be interested in some of the things in here. Unfortunately, the fact that so much is broken right now, this is almost a wait and see after release date what gets patched for, I think, a lot of people. So if you're waiting to get it, hopefully this gets fixed before then. But if not, just know that there could be some issues going forward. So take it for what it is. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, you want to see more Farm Sim content, go down to the bottom, hit the subscribe button, drop a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Hopefully it's Farm Sim 25. Maybe we'll be talking about that soon. Please? Giants, please?